Hi, everybody. Good morning. My name is Myra Flores, and I am a work incentives planner for the California Department of Rehabilitation. I am honored to be able to present Jasmine's story to you all today, as Jasmine has graciously agreed to share her success story with all of us. Jasmine, thank you so much for being here. Would you like to introduce yourself and give us a brief overview of your background?
So, my name is Jasmine Kotze, and I'm 34 years old. I have been blind since birth, and to be honest, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love my life, and it's okay that I can't see because I see in other ways.
Nice. Glad to hear that. Um, So, do you want to tell me a little bit, Jasmine, about how you learned about vocational rehabilitation services, and what motivated you to seek services, and why you chose the DOR for services?
So, from an early age, I knew I wanted to go to college, and growing up, my parents didn't have like the greatest funding to, send me to college necessarily. And so when I was about 16 years old, I was referred to my rehab counselor who um, had me as a client from age 18 until now. And with these services, I've found like the greatest job ever and gotten to go to different colleges and experience different things there. And now I have 3 different degrees. So it's pretty
That's
amazing.
awesome. That's great. That's awesome. Was that your degrees something that the DOR assisted with, and what are your degrees in, Jasmine?
So I have an associate's in liberal arts. I have a bachelor of arts in liberal studies with a credential in multiple subject teaching. And I have a master's degree in special education with an emphasis on visual impairment and blindness
Wow.
with the visual impairment and blindness credential that allows me to teach students like myself who are blind or visually impaired. And
Wow.
then, yes, Department of Rehab did assist me in getting those degrees. They provided my equipment, my funding, like they were my greatest resource all throughout college.
Those are some very impressive credentials, Jasmine. Is that what you are doing? Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now?
So right now I am teaching students with visual impairments and blindness. I've got 3 students right now, a kindergartner, a 6th grader, and a 9th grader, and I love working with them. They all bring their own little personalities to the table, and it's just such a joy.
That's awesome. So you're using your teaching credentials, and that's what you're
Yes,
assisting with. Awesome.
finally, because I graduated in 2020, right as COVID was hitting, and
Oh,
so I didn't get to walk until 2021, although I got the diploma when I actually graduated. Um, so it took me a really long time to find a job, and it's like just under the wire of my credentials expiring. So
yeah.
I'm very happy to have this job.
That's
Very
great.
content.
Awesome. Um, can you tell me what were some specific challenges that you faced before accessing services through the DOR?
Well, before coming to DOR, I was in high school. And so once I left high school, I didn't have the Braille note taker to use, in college, and I wouldn't have unless DOR had provided it. And they provided, like I said, all of my equipment. So my computer, my printer, my scanner, everything that I could possibly need, they provided for me. And those would have been challenges trying to get those had I not sought out services from DOR.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that I was able to assist you in achieving your degrees.
Me too.
Um, so as part, Jasmine, of
Mhm,
the Dior services, you've worked with a couple of work incentives planners to learn about your Social Security benefits. And
mhm.
can you tell me a little bit about or how that experience or what that experience was like?
It was a journey. It was a journey. So I got my job in July, and it took me until August to get everything settled with figuring out what's going to happen with my Social Security and things like that. Um, so with the help of my work incentives planner that I had before you, Myra, and then with your help as well, but they were able to lead me in the right direction with where to go to make sure that I was going to continue to receive services that I would still need. And so that was it was a little bit of a hardship because Social Security and Medi-Cal were kind of I felt like I was being kind of tossed from hand to hand because one said go to the other said go to the other, and finally I was like, okay, what do I do now? So
Yeah.
it finally got worked out to to it worked out really well. So but it was a journey, but I'm grateful for the work incentives planners because without them I'd still probably be lost.
Yeah, it's really hard to navigate all of that information, honestly. So
It really
I'm
is.
glad that we were able to assist you with that.
Thank you.
So, Jasmine, did you have any doubts about going to work when
Yes,
you, can you talk a little bit about that?
absolutely. So I had been trying, like I said, since 2020, 2021, maybe, to get a job, to gain employment. I tried 3 different districts 4 different times. So I had 2 job interviews in one district, one in another, and the other in the third one. And I was always told no, 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 no. And of course, nobody would say why, but you feel it in your heart. You know why. You're a liability because you can't see. And that's really hard to come to grips with. And so before I got my job, I was really, really discouraged. I was trying to find other avenues of employment because I wanted to be a teacher, but no one would give me a chance. And so thanks to DOR and the work incentives planners, I didn't give up on my dream, and I did gain this wonderful job that I have now, and I am extremely grateful.
That's awesome. It's really important, I think, that you continue that journey and not give up.
Mhm. Yeah,
That led to your job, so that's awesome,
yeah.
and you enjoy it and you love it. It sounds like a great job.
hmm
Um, so what advice would you give to someone who is hesitant, maybe unsure about going to work and utilizing DOR services?
So I would just say that you can do it. Please don't give up. Giving up won't get you where you want to be. Only striving and persisting and keeping up the persistence and the perseverance to find your job is hard, but it is worth it. And as long as you make sure that the job is something you can absolutely keep, you're not going to lose it right away. Just make sure it's something you can keep and something that you love to do. Don't do a job that you don't like. because that definitely will make you want to quit, and then you're back at square one. And you can do anything you put your mind to. No matter what disability you have, you can do anything you put your mind to. The sky's the limit. There is nothing besides you that can limit yourself. So keep going.
Amazing words, Jasmine. You're so inspirational. I just
Thank you.
love everything that you've done. You're doing amazing. That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So lastly, is there anything else that you would like to share about your journey or your experience with the DOR or any other advice that you want to give everybody listening?
So with DOR, I was able to achieve those dreams. And I was even more able to achieve my dreams with DOR than I would have been without it. So it's important that you reach out and you try to find the resources that you need to help yourself succeed. Because believe it or not, even people that have no disabilities have to ask for help sometimes. And it's better to ask for help now than to wait.
I love that. Perfect words to end the session. Jasmine, thank you so much. Um, you're so inspirational, and I really, really admire everything that you've done. Um, thank you so much for allowing us to do this recording so that we can share your story with everybody. Thank
And
you so
thank
much.
you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this. It's been amazing.
The reason why I wanted to share Jasmine and Myra's success story today is not just because Jasmine participated in the Ticket to Work program, but it's because it really shows that through your own perseverance, you are able to find your future employment, regardless of how insurmountable, that might be at this point. And there are tons and tons of services out there, whether it's through the Ticket to Work and the Department of Rehabilitation or any other services there are in your community that can help you reach that goal. So all I ask is, I'm going to be providing some contact information for different resources that you can get in touch with. Reach out and see if those services are right for you. And, from there, you can decide whether employment is going to be that next step.